Afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this meeting of the Housing Committee. I'd like to remind all attendees that this meeting is being recorded and webcast live on the Council's YouTube channel. I have agreed the attendance of some members remotely and would remind all remote attendees to mute their microphones when not speaking. For any members of the public watching, please note that all public committee reports, including details of specific recommendations, are available on the Council's website. We'll move on to apologies for absence.
Thank you, Convener. We have apologies from Councillors Gavin Nicol and Louise Nicol, with Councillors Wan and Meehan substituting.
Okay, moving on to item 2, declarations of interest and statements of transparency. No, we don't seem to have any. So 3, minutes of the previous meeting. Is that agreed? And 4, appointment of an executive subcommittee. So the committee is asked to 1, appoint 3 members to the subcommittee. Is there any nominations?
Thank you, Convener. I would nominate yourself as the convener, myself as the vice convener, and Councillor Whiteside as well.
Can we have a seconder? Got one. 2, to appoint a convener and vice convener of the subcommittee. So I would probably appoint myself as convener and Councillor Gregg as vice convener. Can I have a seconder? And 3, to note the remit of the subcommittee. Is that agreed? And 5, we'll move on to House and Revenue account, disposal of land and granting of servitude of rights of access policy. Catherine Johnson to introduce.
Thank you, Convener. The Housing Revenue account disposal of land and granting of servitude rights of access policy seeks to update the previous policy for servitude rights of access over council ground, and for the policy to be expanded to include the disposal of small parcels of land held in the Housing Revenue account. The policy was previously considered at the Policy and Resources Committee on 10th of December and has been updated to reflect points raised there, particularly in relation to the marketing of small parcels of land where there is more than one interested party. Welcome any comments on the proposed policy, and my colleagues Lynn Warburton and Carly Jackson are joining remotely.
Mike, sorry. Is there any questions from anybody? Councillor Speed.
Yeah, thank you, Convener. It's kind of really in relation to recommend 6 and the delegation of authority to the service leader to approve the disposal of land or granting of servitude rights of access in consultation with the Director of Infrastructure. And kind of looking through the body of the report, I just wanted clarity with regards to consultation with tenants who may be affected, who maybe reside close to the land or access rights in question. And I just wondered, will those tenants be consulted directly?
Yes, I can confirm that they will be consulted directly, Councillor Speed. That will be part of the consideration that we take prior to making any decision about whether or not it's even appropriate to consider a parcel of land for sale. And if there are more than one tenants affected, and we will not proceed without a signed agreement from any affected tenant. Thank you. Through you, Convener, is it perhaps, is that something that can perhaps maybe be strengthened within the report to make that more clear? I do know that was a concern within the survey feedback as well, and the report really just makes reference that, you know, where the council feel that there might be tenants impacted, or where it's not a benefit to existing tenants. But is there any way that could be made more clear? I mean, we would certainly reflect that in the operational policy, Councillor Speed, and that is the way that we would intend to operate this. We would make sure that that is one of the key considerations from the very outset of considering any request that we get from a non-tenant in relation to a parcel of land, and that will be reflected in the way that we operate this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. Microphone, sorry, I keep forgetting. Is there any comments from anybody? Nope. So we'll move on to the recommendations. So you've got the recommendations in front of you. Can I ask if they're agreed? Agreed. Okay, thank you, everybody. That's the end of today's meeting. Thank you very much.
Can we stop the live stream, please?